Hi there, it's Dan here from Flexxable, and today I'm going to talk about the definitive guide to the Facebook conversion API after iOS 14. Okay, and this for me is definitely a who not how situation. I'm not a tech person. If you're not a tech person, then you'll be able to hand this training over to your tech person. If you are a tech person, then you're gonna love this video. So Graham Connolly, who's my senior account manager, is gonna run you through how to do this. He's gonna give you everything you need. Enjoy.
Hey guys, thanks Dan for throwing it over to me. So we're just going to quickly go through, well not quickly, but we're going to go through how we set up the Facebook conversion API with LeadsHook. Now LeadsHook have got some great knowledge base on this, which I found very, very helpful when setting ours up. So this is going to include quite a bit of what they've already done, but also just the extra little bits around what we do in the account and things like that. So without further ado, let's get cracking. So basically this is the decision tree that we've got. As you can see, there's two nodes here and here. These are purely just to show that everything's working and that we can make sure all the right fields are being populated, so we know the Facebook conversion should work. Now, the very first thing we want to go and do is we want to go and collect a few bits of information from Facebook that we're going to need to make the API work. So let's go get them. So here's our Facebook and our events manager. And now the first thing we want to get is the pixel ID, which is this thing here. So we're going to need that when we're posting back the conversion event into Facebook. So what I normally do is I go and do that, and I'll just pop that in a notepad there. So once you've got that, then you want to get the API token, which is like the access token. That also is what you need to allow the API event basically to be sent through into Facebook. So we get that by going to settings, scroll down to the conversions API section, and we want to go to generate access token. Just click that. Copy and paste that and pop it in the same notepad. And then finally, you want to know what event you're sending through. So normally we will do the standard lead event. If you're going to do something different, then that's up to you. But for the purpose of this training, we're going to be sending it to that lead event there. Okay, so once we have all of that, we can then move on to the LeadsHook account where we're going to set everything up. So this first node, as I've previously said, this is what it will show up when we come through to that node, which is the FB CLID, which is attached to every click on an ad, FBC and the FBP, which are cookies that are created by the FB CLID, which LeadsHook collects as soon as you hit the page. So they collect it you using a function, which I'll show you in a minute. And then you've got the event ID, the user agent, and the event URL, which are all collected as standard. So once you've looked at that, then it's important to get these scripts over here. Okay, so this first one, this basically saves the FBP cookie into a custom field using one of their functions, which will populate this one, and the FBC as well, which will populate this one. The next two are up to you because they're going to get collected no matter what, which is the event ID and the event time. But sometimes it's good to just put it into a custom field as well. So I've decided to take Lead's advice and do that as well. So just to show you some of these, what these look like. So it'll be the same for everyone. So what this script does is basically it will collect the FBQ cookie, which is just an identifier for the click. Basically, then that's kind of what you need to pass back into Facebook. One of the things you need. So once you've done that, that will grab the cookie. And this has a 10-second delay just to make sure that the FBQ cookie has been dropped onto the page. I believe they found that sometimes it was running too quickly and the FBQ cookie wasn't there, so it wasn't working. So it's important to have this delay in there. But you should be getting this decision tree so you can copy it all over to yours quite simply. It will look the same for the FBC cookie. And then this one is just basically a bit of script that saves the leads hook field into one of your custom fields, just so you have that data there. And then below, we do the exact same thing for country, city, and postcode. So same thought process. It's just getting their standardized thing that leads hook collects and just popping it into a custom field, just so it's populated there as well. So make sure that first node's all like that. This shouldn't change no matter what for anyone. So that's all good. That should all be there. So they can say next it. Then obviously you have your quiz details. Now you can have any number of nodes in front of this. We've just got a name and a number and email field here, but you can have loads of questions before, it doesn't matter. It's important to know, remember which fields are you're populating, because we're going to pass this back through to Facebook. So once you've gone past those, then this is the check all kind of node, which basically makes sure everything is being populated correctly. Now here you can see this kind of stuff. So it's the first name lowercase, hashed. So basically the Facebook API needs everything in lowercase. So Leadsook has a function here where you just put a semicolon and put lowercase, and then that makes sure the name is all lowercase. I would double check that as you're going through, make sure it's all working properly. And Facebook needs most of their personal data hashed in the SHA-256 format. It's a special form of hashing, which Facebook can read. So we want to make sure that we have all of those hashed. So for last name, email, phone number, all going to be hashed. Same as country, city. City hashed. And there we go. So that should all be good there with the external ID and the hashing there. So that's all kind of getting ready for the big thing. This is the Facebook conversion API node. So you'll get this and it will come in this format, and you have to change a couple of things. So basically what you have to change is the pixel ID, update that to yours, the access token, which is basically what we've saved in here. So I'll do it as if I was you guys. So I want to update the pixel ID, and I want to update the access token. Cool. Let me just double check. That's all good. Enter the F. Cool. Yeah, correct. So then you want to go through, make sure the event name is what you've got. So obviously we've got lead here. So that's correct. And make sure these are all set up. So actual web source, websites. Obviously that should be quite normalized for anyone who's sending it from the web or traffic. Event time, event ID, event URL, in the user data. So it's important to get these two in, IP address and the user agent. They're very important. FBC, FBP, email address, phone number, first name, last name, city, geozip, country name, XNID. So that's all good there. Then this is where we're going to amend. Bear with, I've just got. So as you can see, we have to amend this custom data here. So currency, it will be the standardized 3-digit abbreviation. So for we're in Great British pounds, but for like the US, it would be USD, for example. Just want to make sure you update that to the correct one that your ad account is in. You want to give the conversion a value. You want to give the content a name. And you want to give it a category. So I don't think this is like crazy important, but it's important to have something there. So for the content name, we've just gone to for the kind of what lead it is, which is basically a VSL opt-in, someone who's opted in to watch the VSL for our education brand. And then the content category, we're just calling it by our education name, which is Flexxable. So that's what we do. And then content ID, we've basically, the way I do it, it's Flex, and this is going to be the second kind of micro conversion. So the first micro conversion is the page view, and the second one is where we do the VSL opt-in. So I think there should be 5 conversion events down the funnel in our Flexxable funnel. If you're doing the standard quiz to thank you, quiz to results to thank you, then you can kind of do it that way as well. So that's up to you, but it's just what we're doing for our IDs. And then finally, you're going to come to the test code, which I'm going to show you how to find now. So you go to Facebook, you go to test events, and it should say here, test server events, test 89055. So we're going to go back and we're going to change this test code to 89055. So that should be everything done in the Facebook conversion API. So I'm going to save and exit. And then I'm going to go into our result redirects. So obviously you're going to want to update your redirects to your URL. We've got the stuff we append to the thing anyway, to the final URL. You can add your own custom fields on the end of this as well. And this is where you have the browser lead event basically. So we're going to go in here, and this is basically where you add in the browser event, which is FBQ track lead, and then you add in like your content names that you've just done. So we can take this out. So content name was VSL opt-in. Category. Also make sure these are the same. So that's all good. The event ID is that. Sometimes you might want to add in the external ID as well. It depends on what Facebook says, if they've got enough data, in which case you just do a little thing like this, and you do external ID, and then it would be, let me just get this quickly. It would be this. Be that. And then, so this is basically so they can dedupe the leads inside Facebook, so you get a more accurate kind of lead count. So they're going to take the server and the browser leads and make sure that none are duplicates, basically, which is helpful. So you want to save that, and you want to save and exit. Okay. Cool. So next up is testing, basically. So firstly, we want to go and delete the cookie. So you're going to privacy and security, and you want to go to cookies and other data. You want to go to see all cookies and site data. Then you want to type in Facebook, and you want to delete both Facebooks. And then I normally delete the kind of like, so this is going to be on learn.flexxable.com. So I'm going to delete those cookies as well, just in case. And then we can go into Facebook. Now we need to find an FB CLID, basically, which means I'm going to have to click on an ad so we can use that to test. Cool. Okay, so now on there, we want to go and find an ad. Let's just say sponsored, so we'll just click on this one. Basically, what you want to do is you want to scroll along right to the end of it, and it's here. So we're just going to copy and paste this FB CLID, like so. I'm going to go back to our leads hook quiz. We're going to go to direct link, and then we're going to press this open new window, and then we are going to do that. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this whole URL, get rid of that. I'm going to go and delete all my leads hook cookies. It might log me out, I'm not sure, hopefully not. But anyway, we're going to go and test this in incognito. Okay, let's go test it here. There we go. So it's picked up the FB CLID, and it's picked up the FBC and the FBP. Now, if you wanted to troubleshoot this, the best way to do it is to go to inspect the page, and you can go to console. So you can see where these functions fire in leads hook. So you can check that they fire there. And then, which one was it? Application here. So we can go check the cookies. So you can see a cookie's been dropped here, and you can see the FBC cookie's been dropped there. You can make sure that it looks correct. See where it ends, just to make sure that you've got the right one and that it's working correctly. Okay, so it's not working. So the FBC, so that looks like it's correct, ends in TQ. Correct, and then the FBP ends in 2. So that is all correct. So we've got this these details now, which is good, and that's a good way to go and check those things. The console to check what's going on in the background there, which is all working well. Cool. So we're going to come out of that. To see this is all working, press next, and then obviously you want to type in your name. So, and then you want to type in your phone number. So this is where you want to make sure that everything is being populated. So as we know, these are being populated, but just it's best to check. And this data doesn't need to be hashed. It's not personal data. This is stuff that doesn't need to be hashed. It's the user data that tends to need to be hashed. So the event time there. And this is where you want to double check that the lowercase is working. So Graham, yep, it's got the lowercase on there. Perfect. And that's what it looks like hashed. Again, lowercase, hashed. Email looks good to me. Phone number clean, hashed, good stuff. And then we want to go country hashed, perfect. City, hashed, and the external ID is hashed, perfect. So next up, we want to go and press next, and this should send it through the API. Now, obviously, this isn't a real link, so it wouldn't have gone through. That's not to worry. That's all good. So now what we want to do is we want to go check its work. So what we want to do is we want to go to leads. So we got signed out of it for some reason, so I had to get back in. But basically, yeah, you want to go to leads and to this area here, leads. And this will bring you to this area. You want to select your decision tree that you're going off of, which is this one. And normally you can have it set to true, but I normally set it to false because you see more records in there for some reason. So you normally look at the first one, but this looks like it's a bit late, and you can see there's no email or phone number. So this was another time that I went on there earlier. So it's this one here because you can see the email, phone number, and that's what I put in basically. So basically here you want to see the API and webhook part. And basically what's come up is an error, which is good for you guys just to show you how to troubleshoot. So it means that this hasn't been sent through, and you want to see the error message. The parameter data is required, blah, blah, blah. So what we want to go and do is we want to go and, I was looking at this earlier. This is the API we had, and it's as simple as just making sure that you've got all the correct commas there after you change things. So just those two commas have meant it was an error. This should work now. So I'm going to press save and exit. I'm going to publish it. And then I'm going to do the same again. So it's already saved or what we did last time, TQ. So just make sure that FP glid's in there. So that's all good. Correct. So again, we want to try this again. So this time I'm just going to put sorry, one more, and then like that. Press submit. Again, just double check that everything's coming through. Okay. Yep. Cool. So I'm going to press next on that, and again, so it's coming back through there. That's fine. What we want to do is we want to go back here, press refresh. And there should be a new lead now. So search your thing again. Here we go. So it's your new lead that's come in. Double check. So yeah, this is the correct one. You can see that it's got all the FBC, FBP, event ID. So good. Normally it captures the thing there. but it hasn't. So we're going to look into that in a sec. But let's see what this says. So again, we want to go back and check and see if there's anything we have done wrong. And I know, so we got all that done. So I believe it's going to have to be to do with this value not coming in. I think Facebook's not liking that. So let's just do another test. It's coming in with that. Sorry. Okay, so let's go. For some reason, these aren't coming in. So I'm going to take these out for the time being and see if that helps. Actually, 1 second. I think I've just. That comma shouldn't be there. So with these APIs, there's always that one tiny little thing. So save it. Publish that. Let's see if this works. So direct link. There we go. Right. Now let's see if this works. So press search again. The new leads come in. Just double check. Yep, all good, all good. Okay, let's go 400 still. Okay. Okie dokie. So let's try and do this. I have forgotten to do this. So it's important to get rid of your cookies each time. Something that I've forgotten to do this time. So basically, I've had to delete those leads cookies into the conversion API. Made sure that there are commas in all the right places. No comma needed on the last one, there or there, and commas are there and there. Those are the changes I've made. I've kept in country, zip, and city. So now we've got rid of the cookies. It should work now. Basically, when you're cookied, when you do the direct link, it sends you to the same quiz page it looked like. So let's try this again. So go on there. So there's no FB cleared, no FBC, no FBP. Add on the same FB cleared we've been using. There's no FBC, press enter again. It should, there we go, cool. It just takes a while. So now that's done. Let's test it out again. That's good for you guys to see how to troubleshoot, because I've done this probably about 5 times, and every time I've done something wrong, and I know how to do it. So it's good to troubleshoot and make sure you get everything right. So again, just one last double check to make sure everything's good here. Looks fine to me. Perfect. Next. And then cool. Then we want to go to here, check out the latest. So again, just make sure we've got everything in there. Got that. And cool. So now it has worked. Status is 200. It's gone through. Just double check all this. It's got all the correct data coming through. Yep. Or this is hashed, and then it's got this coming through, and that's perfect. Okay, so now that we know that that's success, what we want to do now is we want to go into Facebook and double check that it's gone in. So basically, we want to go to Facebook, go to test events, which you should probably already be in, and then you can see it here. So a test lead has come in. It's got these parameters here. Flexxable VSL Flex 2, so that's all good there. It's got your event ID, it's got the action source, and it's got the user data keys that have come in. So country, city, email, external ID, click ID, browser ID, first name, last name, phone, user agent, and zip code. So now we know that that's all coming in correctly. We basically want to get it ready to work properly now. So now we know everything's working. What we want to do is we want to delete this node and this node. But before you delete this node, what you're going to need to do is you're going to have to move these scripts, all of them, onto this node, because those scripts need to be on the first node of the quiz to be able to work. So yeah, you want to add them all in this section here. All you need to do is add scripts and enter copy and paste the same name in script on enter, and then just copy and paste the script into there. So shouldn't take more than 5 minutes to do that. So then after you've copied all the scripts that are here, you want to basically delete that node and then also delete this node. And then once that's done, you want to go into your Facebook conversion API and you want to delete this line. And you also want to delete this comma there, which is very important. Once you've done that, press save and exit. And that should be good. Link up all the nodes. And then you want to republish. And then that should be working. And once you've done that, you want to go back to your event manager. I would just clear this activity here, just as a good practice. And then you want to go to overview. And then basically what you want, I'm going to show you how it comes in. So the lead here, that basically is where it's going to come in. It's going to come in as connection method as server. I think match quality, sort of what to get that higher. Basically that means how much data is being matched. So for example, if people are coming in off their Facebook account and putting in a different email, sometimes that can throw it off a little bit. And as with anything, sometimes the cookie doesn't get dropped. So just to show you what you can see here, see it's showing you what you can increase the quality with. But as you can see, that's how it's working there. Go to the event overview. It will show you how many conversions you've got. Event deduplication, data freshness is in real time, which most should be with this. Recent activities, this will show you what comes through your conversion API. And then as it doesn't show me anything yet. So it's basically what that looks like. Once you've done all that, you obviously want to go to aggregated event management, configure web events, and then you want to go into here, manage events, edit, This is your verified domain, by the way. And then you want to, obviously, I've already got it in there, but I'll show you how to do it just in case. Add an event, Flexxable pixel, and then you want to go and find your standardized event, which is lead. You press that. And then you want to go push it up to where you want it to be, which it should be close to the highest priority. And then you want to press apply. And then there should be another box that pops up and then it says confirm review. Cool. Well, that's basically how we set up the conversion API with LeadsHook. As I said, the guys at LeadsHook had an epic non-knowledge base for this, and they've worked very hard to try and help make it as easy as possible for marketers to send over their conversions. So obviously I'll link to their knowledge base as well. If you're really techie, they go into a bit more nitty-gritty of the tech side of it. This is just basically how to set it up and get it working, basically, without having to know too much in the back end kind of stuff of how it works. But I know some guys love that kind of stuff. So yeah, guys, thanks a lot for listening, and cheers. Hope this helped.
Okay, so if you really enjoyed this video today, then please hit the like button so we know to create more content similar to what we've done today. Also, if you can comment below, if you've got any questions, comments, you agree or disagree, then we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And the last thing I would like to ask is if you can hit the subscribe button so whenever we've got some new content, you're going to be the first to know. Thank you very much.